The cool hands of Luke is back. He's back. This is your third time back on the podcast.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was one. That's how many times I got punched in the head.
Do you know? Because have you gone back into engineering again? Are you back on sites?
I was back on sites the past year. Yeah, coming up to a year, 10 months now. Yeah, so back around commercial sites around town. So I'm back boxing now, as you're seeing. She had me on, So
Do you know? I don't want that to be the only excuse, but I still often think like going back into because the buildings for me were always. It was always kind of a macho kind of place, the kind of way like where you're walking around, you're strutting your stuff. But
funny you say that. Funny you say that. I could have crossed, but I was on a site and I was just walking around with my laptop and a scaffolder. Actually, I went past like it was a barrier. The scaffolder probably see this podcast, but he started roaring and shouting at me. So I told him fuck off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Weird enough. And there was a bit of roaring and shouting in the bill, and I was saying to myself, like, what am I doing? So I was close to having actually a scrap on the site there not so long ago.
Classic. It was always going to be a scaffolder. You didn't even have to tell me. You didn't even have to tell me the trade line.
Yeah.
They're like these angry jockeys, aren't they? Like they're just these angry, wiry jockeys.
Yeah. Big enough lump now as well, so probably just as well.
Would you go away at it? Like this is that's what I was getting to. Like the fake bravado that blokes have on site, like strutting around going, and then I bust the fucking head off and all. And then you round the corner with your laptop going, hi guys, so what I'd like you to do, and you go, yes, of course, Mr. Keeler, absolutely. They just look.
I went across and he had left the site. I went across, there was two other scaffolders and they had recognised me. I don't know whether they said it to him or he just had to go to a different site, but I was in the hood. It's funny.
That's when you know you carry power, is when your man just gets shifted to another site because, like, listen, it's better for your health, honestly. Because scaffolders all think they're savages. Well, a lot of them are savages, but at the same time, like, let's get real, like,
It was in the centre of town. I didn't want to be getting arrested for fucking hitting someone. But,
hey, would it promote the next fight something savage? Keeler knocks the bollocks out of a scaffolder.
Yeah. But all good. I'm back full time the last couple of weeks. So the old body's sore, getting back into it, but it's good. It's good for the head, the training. So I'm happy.
I wonder about that, all right. Like, because let's say the guts of 3, like, did you go, that's it now, belly, going to open up the belt, let the belly out, 3 years, eating what I want. I might go back to boxing or something, because I never believed that you retired, because you kind of, it was, what did they call, like a soft exit? Businesses would call it a soft exit or a soft entering or whatever, but you kind of, you just went, all right, we'll pause it there. And then the world came to a grinding halt with you. But like...
Yeah, so that COVID obviously happened and we probably lost a year. There was shows behind doors. I was tipping away training and then like just life gets in the way. I had a new baby boy. He's a year and a
congrats.
half. Yeah, and I moved house. I'm on the north side of now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of westy though as well, though, aren't you?
Yeah, West Ballyfermot, yeah. And then I'm living in Glasnevin now, so I moved house, done the house up for about a year, and had the baby, and then just things get in the way. There was no real good offers, and I kind of lost interest. And it was actually I was saying I actually had an interview there yesterday, but I said, like, I was actually thinking of writing out a post. Generally, you were saying quietly said something. I was saying, well, I'll put up a post to say I'm finished, and then it was actually McElhaney Promotions who's running the show in the RDS with Conlon, but he was forced planning to run a show in Lucan in his land, like in his home. So he's a fine house to back roads in Lucan. So he it came about that way. There was talk of that fight, a fight on that, and then I just said. Then it didn't happen in Luke, and the dates obviously later on in the year. So it's the RDS now, but that's kind of, they said they gave me a fight, a warm-up fight, and then maybe a big Irish fight. So it was kind of a pathway put there, and I said, I can't commit that, and I'll go back to train and see how I feel. But I'm back sparring and I'm feeling good, so there might be a couple left in me,
So, like, how did they ring you, like, out of the blue, or was it just an email
Yeah,
came in, or what? Had you put the flag up?
yeah, I know Stephen, and a guy in the gym, Butch as well, was dealing with them and deals with Conor boxing. And the three of them are kind of putting together a show, and he asked myself. So they're still thinking of the old man there. So there was a bit of interest. So I said I'll fight. Obviously get a warm up fight first, and then go again. But McElhaney Promotions are planning on running another couple of shows, and then the big show in Lucan on his own land next year.
I love
So
that. I love that
yeah,
he's putting it on his own land.
yeah,
Class.
yeah. But the plans for it is amazing. He was getting music acts, all fuel trucks. Like, it was going to be a huge event. Was like, I think it was for 8 or 9 thousand people. The show on his
Festival.
land.
He's making a festival out of it. Basically,
Basically,
the headliner act will be boxing.
entertainment and boxing. Like, so he's going to start the show early, have the boxing and have music there as well. So it was good.
That's unreal. But it looks like, but you're going to go to the that. I love that. Like, a lad just goes, yeah, I'm going to take a couple of years off and then back to the RDS.
And then, like, the last event there was Barry McGuigan. There's a bit of history there.
That's class.
So it's nice to be thought of, but like, the interest is huge for it. I think it was starved the boxing, and okay, he came back, but there was more interest for this fight. I thought it was forgotten about for the 3 years, but more messages and interest for this fight than any of my previous ones in Belfast and stuff. So I think there's a bit of a buzz building about the boxing again, So touch wood.
I think also we haven't had boxing to get behind in a long time, like, because every other sport is kind of, I won't say run its course, but we're kind of, GA, hurling and everything else, and the football and the rugby, and we're like, okay, all right. And there's only so much you can take of all this stuff being rammed down your neck. Nobody's been properly talking. Like, MMA pretty much it's stuck in everybody's head. Everybody's nearly gone sick of MMA at this stage. So the idea that boxing is coming back, and there's nothing like nostalgia. Do you know what I mean? And you already have a great record. So, I mean, given on your last fight, which didn't really look like you it didn't look like you from the fights I've seen before. I'd be interested in your opinion on it. Like, when you watched it back, were you going, who the fuck is this guy?
Nah, what you know what? I was caught early, and it was a big step up in class. Like, I boxed like, he's double world champion, the guy. So, and I was caught early and in autopilot, and didn't even, like, can't remember the start of the fight, that kind of way. So it wasn't. That's what I said. I kind of was disappointed in that performance, and said I'd like to go out on a bit of a high, or even just prove that it was better than that last performance. Still a bit of a niggle there over that. So it takes time to just reassess things and look back on things. But I'm kind of a lot clearer in my head training.
Yeah.
Be boxing, and I'm kind of like, the couple of years out. I'm probably talking shy now, but a couple of years out probably did me a bit of good, that kind of way, because I was just going through the motions. I was 3 years pro, flat out, training every day. And then near the end, I was kind of born down and just going through the motions. And then the couple of years off, put on a few pounds. And but, like, even at that, I went back sparring with the lads who were flat out the last 3 years, and I've been competing with them, that kind of way. So I was surprised. I was expecting to be a lot worse, but the bit of fitness is, like, the bit of timing is coming back, and I'm not as bad as I thought, So touch wood of a couple of good wins left to me.
But I suppose you have a pathway built out in your head anyway, like, as a smart fighter. Like, so you're like, it's not like me giving it a go. You know what I mean? And granted, there will be a hint of rust, maybe not as much as you thought, but at the same time, you're like, all right, I know the progress here, day by day. I know where the progress is, and that'll be a little touch of encouragement every day. Like,
I know it'd be probably 6 months to get of training full time to get back to where I was in terms of like just fitness and like to be peaking, and you need a couple of fights to get ring rust and time and back. Like you might spar well with actual fights and going through that process. So I probably need this fight an 8-rounder and then a couple of big fights. So it'll be 6 months until I'm back to the level where I want to be. I imagine, you know, 5-6 months of training twice. Back to first couple of weeks are just one session a day, 6 days. But it'll be 2 sessions next week. So I'm back in physio. Like I'll have to just put the body through the mill again, you know.
I was just thinking that, like, I mean, I've gone back to play rugby a couple of times, like, and the sting is that first sting where you catch a hip to the chin or something like that. You're like, oh fuck, I forgot about this. You go back.
Actually, your body gets hardened. Like I got a shot in the ribs there last week, and they're still bruised. And I never had that. Like they're properly bruised and sore. And even the shots to the face and the bruising and the you actually get accustomed to getting punches. I think your body hardens. So I'm a bit softer. But like in a few weeks, it'll be all right. Please God.
Yeah, because I noticed your hands are after thickening up nicely as well. From like, would they have stayed like that, or are they getting nice and thick?
You know what? There's just soreness in my hands coming back as well. Like it's the whole body sore, back sore, rib sore, hand sore. So long, like it's just going through the mill again. You know that kind of way. But sure, else would you be doing?
And where are you back training now? You back in Centurion again?
Yeah, the Coliseum with
Coliseum.
So we have a good crew. Tyrone McKenna's headlining the fight. And Senan Kelly's on the card, and also Paul Ryan. So Paul Ryan is a middleweight up and coming top lad. Senan Kelly's a welterweight, and Tyrone's a welterweight. So the 4 of us are on the same card. So there's a buzz back in the gym. It's good to be back now. They're all slagging me for being the old man and whatever else, but there's a good buzz back in the gym now. You know, coming back in, you'd miss it.
That's the great thing about like boxing. Like you can give each other shit and all the rest. You give each other shit in the office, on site, and nothing comes of it. You go, yeah, the fucking blah, 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 or whatever. You can literally get in and knock the bollocks out of each other. It's one of the most healthiest, mentally healthy fucking things to do ever.
Yeah, there's a guy that's helping us out. Screamer is his name. So he's the number 2. Screamer's the nickname. Stephen Marr, but he boxed a bit and he trains with us, and he's fit, like, you know, trained the last 3 years. But I always like say, still bait you, you know, still bait you. So we're doing school sparring, and he's trying his hardest, and I just still have her on him, you know. Shout out to him, so I can still break him up, you know.
Will you come back in the same weight, do you reckon? Same weight class?
No, I'm making. I'll probably do super middle, the next division. But I'll see how the body is. The weight's coming down well, but like I said, with the one fight at a time and 5 weeks, I'll see how it goes. I might have to go to super middle. I'm not going to kill myself, you know.
Oh yeah. And what was day one where you're like, right, that's the chocolate and crisps gone? Are you like, did you tailor it down, or are you just like straight onto avocados? And what's the crack?
Well, as soon as you have a fight day, if you don't have a fight day, you slip in.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got the fight day, everything is cut out. Even like I went for food there with the missus after work, and like just healthy food again, do you know, that kind of way. Everything is. I'll be back on a meal plan, and but everything is cut out straight away. Once I had the date a couple of weeks ago, and the bit of weight came down because I did go up in weight. I probably went touching 90 kilos, you know, and 72 is the middleweight limit.
Right.
So, well, I would have been around, say, 82 walking around, and you bring the 10 kilos down. Now I'm kind of, I think I'm about 85 now. So I didn't go up too much.
Jesus.
I came down. So 4 or 5, but still a good bit to lose, you know.
There's lads listen to this going, would you ever fuck off? I put 90 kilos on a fucking weekend in Galway.
I was sparring a fella today. He was 105 kilos.
Jesus.
Big lump, yeah. So you get used to the smacks again. It's not
Jesus
good.
Christ. That's like going in with a couple of sledgehammers, like.
Yeah. He's helping in the gym as well. He's a bit older now, so I was able to move. But he's a big puncher at 105 kilos. He's helping in the gym with Pete as well, and sparring with us and stuff. But Polish guy, Polish amateur, and he's kind of retired now, but he's still sparring with the lads. So he was 105 kilos, taking the smacks in the head there today. I was.
What did you do? Have you just parked the job for the minute, or what's the crack? Or are you straight after the job? And
For afternoons with the company just to ease out, but I will have to make the jump soon enough, I'd say, yeah.
how many times have
Uh,
they ever had to lose a lad to professional boxing? Like, I'd love that conversation because there's no arguing with you. There's no fuck. Like, if you're after another company, it's like, Jesus, maybe you could, or you know what I mean? You're going, listen, guys, I just need some me time. You're like, fuck that, come back. You just go, no, lads, I'm going to go poke the shit out of somebody.
yeah, fairness to the owner of the company, he was sound about it, and accommodate me. So I'm just kind of handing over a couple of jobs and doing afternoons from now. So I train in the mornings, but I will have to take a full step back if there is like fight at the time. But I'm going well, so touch wood, 6 rounder. Like the kind of you get a warm up fight back a journeyman. Get someone that's just fall over, hopefully, but now someone decent, like oh, now, yeah. So you pick an opponent. So that's like you might laugh, but you could actually literally pick someone that you could knock out. Like, but you want the rounds. Like, going not being out that long, it's no good to me to knock someone out. Look great. Like I'll pick someone that will last. You look at the record, and they've only stopped a couple of times. So I'll pick someone that I get 6 hard rounds off, but not a risk to lose. So that's the way boxing works. There's journeymen, you bring them in and get work from. I would like to just get a quick knockout and think I'm great, but it's probably
Yeah.
not good.
Oh, we get all the cameras there. We get maybe a 4-camera setup, nice show reel going. Yeah. Sweat flying off the back of your man's head as you knock him out.
Stand there, thousand. But no, I'll get someone tough enough. There was a couple of names mentioned and they weren't good enough, so I'll get someone tough enough. Like, there's no point in even though it might look great and you knock someone out, but it's not good.
And tell me this: the to ask in the most basic terms, why come back? Was it unfinished business? Well, because like you said, you were almost gonna go, I'm fucking retired. Like, did you chat to the missus? Did you go for a long walk and go, fuck this, I'm going back? Or literally, was it the boys got in touch and you went, yeah, go on?
There's a bit of that, and a bit like, yeah, I couldn't let it go. I missed it. Like I don't. I remember I probably said in the last podcast with you, I was thinking of leaving after the Irish title fight. Like, I was kind of flip of a coin about retiring. Then I wasn't happy. Then I went full time for 3 years. Everything went great. I was like, I had success. I could have left it as it was. Like, I could have retired. But there was a little niggle there that I still feel, might not look up, but I still feel fresh and sharp. Like, and I'm not that punchy yet, I don't think so. Like, I think I can compete and do well, and probably an ego thing, but I'd like to go out on a high and just sign off on a high rather than that defeat, which I didn't think I kind of gave a good account of myself. So I kind of just want to come back, see how the body goes, and sign off on a high. Like, that's the plan.
I suppose that's for somebody that when boxing means so much to you, you don't want to walk away and go, like, it's it's giving you so much, you've given so
Yeah,
much to it. You don't want to walk away after getting clipped early in your last fight and then, you know what I mean, not, as you said, give a good account of yourself. Like, you're like,
yeah.
nah.
It was a bit of that, and yeah, and then the offer, obviously, like, I could have, like, there has to be opportunities to
Of course.
back for. I was actually offered a couple of fights, but they were short notice, and I haven't been training. Just on my own account, if I had been in the gym training, the management would have got fights. But I was offered a fight with Chris Eubank Jr. short notice.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't training. Yeah. I was offered a couple of Irish fighters were offered that fight. Conor Coyle was offered as well, I think. But like you can miss out on things if you're not in the gym. So it's my own fault. But there was nothing really set in place. This is at opening the door. Like the guy McElhaney Promotions are gonna have a big show next year on his land, and like there's a possibility Tyrone McKenna's fighting for the IBO belt. It's kind of like there's four main belts: the WBA, WBO, WBC, and IBF. And this IBO belt is kind of getting more and more recognised. Golovkin had a Chris Eubank Jr. Actually had a belt, so it's kind of recognised. It's a nice looking belt, but it's a belt that I could probably get my hands on. Do you get me?
Jesus,
so,
lovely.
Yeah, so it could be like an open air show in Lucan beside me in Ballyfermot next year. Like this is me just dreaming again, because to be honest,
yeah,
and I never even thought about it. But with McElhaney Promotions, they be in a position to put regular shows on, and then maybe fight for the likes of the IBO belt. So that's kind of, this is only me talking out loud and thinking about this the last few days, but it's something that could happen, you know.
Man, you got to get that on the whiteboard, like IBF title. Yeah, fuck that.
I used to have a picture of the, like we probably a screensaver on the phone.
Yeah.
I only changed it there like a year ago. I just left it on my phone, but people were still. I remember we made Mark Kennedy out of gym. So what are you doing with that for? I was trying to put the child on it now. You know?
That's it. Priorities, of course. Yeah. Put my child on it. Yeah. What was it? A picture of the belt, was it?
Yeah. So I had to change it to my son, but because I get a bit of stick. But I used to have like stuff like that in the visor of the card and all. But it's something that you can dream about again with these couple of fights planned and these dates planned. So I'll have to start getting back into that kind of mindset, you know.
And was that something you did and possibly are going to get back into, is like literally making for all the world like dream notes, like, and like plan of action? Like, I know it sounds a bit woo woo, but that shit works, I swear to God.
Yeah, like, you know what, I was all obsessed. I went from boxing to focusing on work, and I got me house, but I done all that kind of stuff they are saying. It's whatever you focus on is kind of comes about, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Work and stuff like that, and I was obsessive about that. So my mind wasn't really on boxing, and now all of a sudden I'm back shadow boxing in the living room like at night and stuff, and messing around now. I hadn't done that in 3 years. But when you have it's amazing when you have a fight date and stuff, and your mind switches back on. So I'm back kind of. I'm in the job now, stretching and fucking. When I go back in the afternoons, they say people are looking at me saying he's a head case. So
no wonder.
Yeah.
Hey, tell the truth. Your man the scaffolder didn't come looking for a scrap at all. You just wanted to pick a fight. Just going, listen, I just need to knock somebody out today. You big fella, down you come.
It's the last thing I need. But no, it's good. Of the buzz back, and it's good to be speaking about it again, because literally you just forget about it. I suppose just forget about it.
The second I saw you put that post up, the joy jumped in my heart. I was like, yes, yeah, this is perfect. This is exactly what should be happening. Like, it's not like you're 56 George Foreman-esque going, I can still do it, guys, put me in. You know, it's like,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, like I'm still like I didn't have a long amateur career, I didn't have a long pro career, I had gaps in between, and I had 3 years off, so I still feel fresh enough.
Yeah, you never got tore up bad, like, you know what I mean? Went to war a million times, like.
And my style wasn't like take a lot of shots, so I didn't take a lot of damage in my career. So look, you never know. Like, I'll see how I perform. Take it one step at a time. I actually said it to the promoter, and like, I said, but I have to see how I am. There's no point me committing to anything.
Yeah.
So, but I am very surprised and happy how I'm performing already. So I did say at the very beginning it'll be a 6th round and see how I am, but I'm already looking past that, so there'll be a couple more, you know.
Funny how it didn't go away even in 3 years. Like, you know what I mean? You thought your brain went, well, I've parked that now that I've gotten into the job, but still, like, the
Yeah,
overall fitness.
yeah. Like I was in and out of the gym every few months, once or twice. I went back to the gym probably a year ago, a year and a half ago, and there was a young lad, world class lad now. Adam McKenna was over sparring, and about a year and a half ago, and he was looking for sparring, and I hadn't done that in ages. And I was living over in Grand Canal at the time, and I remember I said, "Oh yeah, I'll do a few rounds with you on Friday." Say I was in the gym Tuesday, didn't do one for years. Say I said, "I'll do a few rounds on the Friday," thinking like, you know, still had it, but I had a bit of a cold and flu. Walked across the bridge on the Grand Canal. Used to park the van at me missus' mother's, and I was sweating, but I didn't pull out a spar because you'd be like, there's still a bit of ego. Like I didn't want to
Yeah, of
miss the
course.
spar, and got better with this lad. So that was actually one of the last spars I had, probably a year and a half ago, and took a hiding off this lad, Adam McKenna. If he's watching it, he'd probably laugh at it, but that probably put a nail across the line. That's it. That's enough now. You had enough. But I kind of just stopped in and out like the gym, bits and pieces. But that was the last bar, probably a year and a half ago, and probably a year before. So like very, very little activity. But I got back in and got back sparring regular on pads. Screamer helped me with pads at the start, timing. And I went out to St. Kevin's gym in Glasgow, my mate Mark Kennedy, Stevie Rogerson's gym, and was doing body sparring, say, 2 months ago, just with lads, normal lads. So I kind of got a bit of timing back with that. So every Sunday we go out to Glasgow, and then you go to the 40-foot after. So if you ever look for a bit of training, there's all just lads like yourself, Tom, old and
Yeah.
retired and heavy, but it always felt great moving around.
Shirt off straight away. Well,
Yeah,
boys, yeah.
I thought it was great. But if you ever session, oh no, but if you ever fancy session on a Sunday, you're more than welcome to come out and move around. They're all just like really like there's a couple of good young lads there, but there's a lot of like lads just tipping away training, and we all go in and body spar. So it's grand. It's a good session, you know.
Yeah.
So I got back to that, thought it was great, dropping fellas out there. You know, got the confidence back from that, and then back in the gym, you know.
Sometimes that's all you need is just to clip a few lads like, oh yeah, still got it.
Oh, I don't have no.
And that's the thing, like the general public would never grasp, like, you know what I mean? Like a fella who can, the difference, and you know, like somebody get into, you know, and throw a few shapes, drop a few lads, you know, just put a few. But then the difference between like that Aaron McKenna lad and you know, last year to a year or so ago, like
level training, he's probably world level now. Young lad, him and his brother, top lads there, and he was flat out training, and I thought that'd be grand, but just difference, just timing. Like even now, like I'd be miles ahead of where I was.
Yeah.
Half ago, just a few weeks training and timing back, you know, there is a huge difference.
I think too, I was thinking of, and I wonder how it plays into, do many people put much thought into it, is the thinking process. Because you're a smart person, like, you know what I mean? You're a degree engineer, like, so, and it's not often you meet somebody who has gone through that process or whatever, but can you find a way of getting an advantage that way? Clearly, you know what I mean? You're a good boxer, but you do have to think out things. Like, do you think you have a large capacity for mental boxing? Like
that's what I was saying. The last few months of my career, like you learn and you're in autopilot, so you're just kind of going by what your reactions and things. But I'm thinking a lot more since I went back. Probably because I'm a bit slower, maybe, or slowing down. But I'm actually thinking in defense a lot more and catching and how can I do this and watching people. and saying, look, he does this or does that. It is
Mm-hmm.
huge. Like, you can actually time someone, like he drops his hand or he does this when he throws or he steps in. So you can actually pick up little things and implement them. But you have to have a brain to actually do that.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
people
yeah.
have style and they just fight and make the same mistakes over and over in a fight. But if you can make little adjustments, say, look at when I go to him, he feints or he moves this way, then you can kind of set people up. Like there's loads of little tricks with an old pro like that I can kind of see things and implement things like they'd be flat like fellas super fit and fast, but you can lean on them and tie them up and but like you said, see things coming, like time things and make movements and feints and stuff. Like it is a huge mental part of it that probably since I came back, I'm thinking a lot more of. Like, maybe I'm thinking like I need to be thinking a bit more, but I'm adding a bit more to my game, I think. And this is me just talking out loud, but
No, but
I
that's the interesting side of boxing for me.
I'll see a lot more now. Being on the outside for that long and just watching, I can see a lot more the couple of years out and seeing what I done personally wrong, and even like shots that I thrown that were wrong and movements where it was like you can kind of make adjustments, but you have to be switched on and think about it. P is a real technical coach that will correct you, but you can kind of go into autopilot and play to your strengths and keep making mistakes. So I try to give lads in the gym advice, being a bit older, I see mistakes they're making now, and actually saying to them like, try this, like so. Me even like spotting things and seeing things and passing that on. I'm picking up things in myself, but also other people, and it's all like everyone's kind of helping each other out. But it is a huge mental thing, like that kind of way. It isn't just fit and strong. Like there is so many little tricks that you can do, like and catch people, and timing and set people up, like.
Speaking out loud too, I suppose in the process of actually going, no, I'm just saying, if I was there, what I would do is I would, faint. And probably
Yeah,
saying it out loud probably goes, oh, fuck yeah. Yeah, yeah. Geez, I actually do know this. Like, let's log that. So for the chess, because boxing should be, it's supposed to be, I mean, boxing clever is actually, it's a term of phrase for actually how
yeah,
you would chess move your way through a conversation or an argument or a situation. You say, I box clever.
yeah. There is a game of chess, and it's something that I'll have to just keep on like keep on getting cuter and keep on learning. It's amazing, like fucking I'm still only learning at this stage. Like it's like in the amateur game, like or it depends on the coaches as well. Sometimes you just go through autopilot, double jab, right hand, like just basic stuff. But P is really technical. Went all the way them European camps, like the Eastern European countries, and little moves and adjustments. It's all like feet placement and body mechanics to get shots. But it is really technical. So that high performance that he was in with Katie for 10 years, he's kind of implementing a really, everyone will say he's a brilliant technical coach. That's why the fighters are coming to him. And that's something that I lacked in my early career that I'm learning now, and even learning more so now, because I'm just being more like open to say defense, just practicing defense and rather than gung ho, So it's interesting, and it's something that I'll pick up on more. Touch wood.
But I suppose you probably have a greater reception for it now because that we all know we were all fucking Aegis through our entire 20s. If you think back at the stupid shit you thought of in your 20s, we're like, I was a dumb bastard. 30s, you get
Yeah,
a bit smarter. You know what I mean? Start to realize, oh, so this is what. So now you actually have the capacity to receive that information and self critique yourself. This is, do you know what's gas? And I'm not aligning myself with a pro boxer. But in stand up comedy, because it is so hot in the moment that you have to look back on what you've done and go, oh, Jesus Christ, that was sloppy the way I stumbled through that. Because especially if you're hosting, you know what I mean? You're dealing with bombardment of people's temperaments throughout the entire night. Am I keeping the whole place spinning plates? What? And when I do, you know, dive in on somebody to talk to them and they throw me something back, am I because you have to be 5 seconds ahead of real time.
Yeah.
The shit that's coming out of your mouth is 5 seconds behind where your brain is actually at. And everybody thinks you're a fucking genius because, oh, Jesus, how did he think of that? Because you've another part of your brain going, over here, I got somebody I can tie that story to. And it does in the same way, like that you're saying now, well, stepping back from it. COVID, I stood back for it. And when we finally came back, I was rubbish at the beginning, rusty as fuck. I had no memory recall. I thought I'd never been through a period where I didn't, because you don't have to remember shit from day to day. But going back through the pages, I started to realize how much I loved it. And my stand up completely changed because I was like, oh, wait, now. I was so focused on the well written material that I had when there's a whole game in front of me here that I can actually play while tying that in as well. You know, like, so like I said, I'm not aligning myself, but it is interesting, the mental game.
Yeah, like it, and it's something that I know was super focused for them 3 years, and I was super focused, but near the end, I was in autopilot. I was having success in my style, and I was landing well in sparring, but it wasn't actually present in me sparring.
I get you, yeah.
In the first couple of years, that was working. I got super fit and done my strength and done that, but I actually wasn't actually improving. Now I'm like kind of plateaued for them couple of years. Near the end, then I probably went like stale. It's funny, but now that I'm back now, I'm kind of refreshed and kind of thinking and what I done, and you can reassess things. But in that moment, in them 3 years, I went to a level above me previous level, but then plateaued, I think. This is just me talking out loud now. I never even like actually said that, but it is the same process. I probably just plateaued, but now that I'm back, I'm doing things that I didn't do. Coming up to me world title fight, I'm catching, I'm throwing, I'm defending, and I'm throwing shots. I'm seeing shots better. Like I'm actually me hand placement. My hands are out. My hands are better positioned than they were because I'm thinking more of defense. So I am improving.
How do you mean, like elbows in kind of thing, just protecting the?
And I was just a bit sloppy with my hands. My hands were a bit open. If you watch clips of me fights, now I'm kind of being clever with my hand positions, getting them closer, like catching better, just better defense, and then catching shots and throwing straight away. Just little tweaks that I'm doing that is working now and sparring that I probably didn't spar that way before. If you get me, like me tempo and me, you know,
it's probably a lot more. It's probably nearly more fun. Like you sound like you're actually having nearly more fun at it now because you're probably becoming a completely different fighter now that you've added another side to your game as well as opening your mind up to it.
Yeah, and in and out and fast, and I was sparring, and that was working for me. Now all of a sudden, I'm watching and staying in there, like more middle close distance, and I'm having more success that way. So it's in like it could be something that you needed a couple of years off to actually reassess, you know, because you get caught up in things, don't you?
Yeah.
In one while, so it's working for me now that I'm back.
Well, I remember hearing a fella. Sorry to cut you. I remember hearing of a guy, and it's unheard of. You know, if you're playing at elite level football or elite level, and for the coach to go, "Oh yeah, you can take some time off if you want," because you're a money making machine. I remember reading it was a guy. He took a year off. He was playing for rugby for Australia at the highest fucking level, like 7 days a week, non-stop, just being bombarded. And he just turned around to the coach and went, "Listen, the head isn't. I'm not loving this anymore. The head isn't right." And I need at least a year off to fuck off surfing and not even think about this. And your man went, Grant, actually let him go. Like he came back 3 times the player he was, even not as fit, right, but just because he just cleared the head and was able to stand back and see the wood for the trees. Like,
yeah, well, I done that. I never really trained full time. I done that, and the build up to that world title fight kind of was all just a lot of pressure and hectic, and kind of it is all mental, isn't it? Mm-hmm. I see fighters all like you can actually recognize with fighters. There's Katie Taylor. She's been through all the huge fights, and I think in her last fight, the homecoming, she was emotional getting into the ring. You can see the emotion on her face, but that saps your energy.
Of course.
it's like I don't think she was herself in that fight. And you think for at elite level her whole life, you think if someone's prepared for that, it'd be her. But I think that kind of might, like, it's a game of tiny percentages. That might just dip toward energy levels. And it was the same with me in that build up that fight. Wasn't used to that big stage, the bright lights, and I was kind of just caught in the headlights a bit. I remember I never went to the event before the fight happened, and I didn't know the way to the ring around, and it was a delay to get to the ring, and I'm waiting around, and you just caught cold. I was kind of caught in the headlights, cameras, stuff like that. Like little things can affect your performance, you know. It is a huge mental thing, the boxing, but that's one thing I've seen. And even it might have happened to the guy in the gym, Gary Cully. He was built up. He had a couple of big knockouts. This is a big homecoming, big opening with him. But he could have been caught up in the event. Like, it is a big mental thing, and then just caught in the headlights, and then and he was caught and stopped. You know, so it is that elite sport, that high level. It's a game of percentages, isn't it? Like,
well, I suppose and this is where sports psychologists come into the thing, where they put you in the right frame of mind, or they're like, listen, it's genuinely just another fight. Do you know, if you can block up. Now, you do it 2 or 3 times, and he probably just sails over you, go, just let me get in the ring. And it, you know what I mean? Because once you know yourself, you're smart. Once you see it once, you're like, right, now I know. Do you know? But as you said, you were delayed getting to the fucking ring. You didn't know the direction. I'll get this back on. So yeah, Luke's had a technical difficulty there. He's a really good fighter, I swear to God. Fantastic engineer. The phone wouldn't be the greatest friend to him, though. It's the only thing. Here, while we were talking about the mental thing, and I won't keep you because it's too much longer, because it's late and you're probably beating the shit out of some fella tomorrow. This is a game changer, right? Can you see that? You see that stuff?
Yeah, I have some. I did.
Did you?
But you know, I have capsules. I took 1 or 2 of it, Lions Man. I'll show you them. I have them there.
Yeah, get them. Go on.
What else did I get? This is for the testosterone. See that?
What's that one? I can't. A swaggy fucking extract or something.
Yeah. I have Lions Man somewhere. It's over there. How you find that?
I find it very good for mental focus.
Right.
Unbelievable for focus. Like, really good for lighting up stuff that I'd forgotten years ago. Like, it actually noticeable. Like,
what I noticed, right, since I cleaned up my diet, I'm a lot sharper. I used to notice that for all the camps, as soon as I cut out like processed food and just went on veg and meats and stuff, I got a lot clearer. So, but I'll try that Lions Man now that you say. I have capsules there. I have capsules.
Dude, if you have a big sparring session ahead of you, if you take maybe 2 of them, a half an hour out.
Right. I'll try it. Yeah, 100%.
Because what you'll do is just relating it to what I do, what you'll find is whatever you learned the last day, you'll implement it physically.
Yeah, you're thinking and put it into practice. Yeah,
I find the flow state. I end up slipping into the flow state much easier when I'm on it, because it's like giddy up, no thinking needed, almost to a degree. It's like, all right, I'm all in here now, forgetting about everything else.
Right. No, I'll definitely take it. Yeah, no, I'll definitely take it. I find, like you said, but if you're on a bad diet, that stuff wouldn't work as well, would it?
No,
if you're clean, your system, I suppose.
Especially, I've moved down since I met you last. I've moved back with the family. I moved my very South Dublin wife to very rural Tipperary. She actually loves it. She loves it because we've, like, you know what I mean? We've a few acres here, like, you know, the young fella, he's 3 now, going on 4, and he's able to run around as mad as a badger, like. But what I found is, I found my diet got very, very, not basic is the wrong word, but it's very clean. A lot of just clean beef, clean venison. Do you know, I've gone back hunting again, stuff like that. Like, and you know, so it's got a bit carnivore. Well, not you know, there's veg in there too, like, but for the most part, I don't have to fuck around with processed food at all.
Yeah. A friend of mine in the job actually tried that carnivore diet, and his pupils a lot clearer. White. He looks a lot sharper. He's at dropping. He drastically dropped weight on it. I don't know whether it's just water retention with processed food, but he swears by that carnivore diet. See, Jordan Peterson talks about it and stuff, doesn't he? And his daughter.
I haven't gone all in, but
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely a large, but then there'll be like a day or two during the week, well, I'll just go pure veggie. Do you know what I mean? Just for the sake of it, like, you know what I mean? But it's, yeah, large amounts of meat. And I've noticed myself, like, this is probably of my working week right now, it's probably hour and 90 odd.
Jesus,
Yeah. And I honest to God, Luke, if
Jesus.
I could go another 5 hours, no bother. And I'm up again tomorrow morning. I'm off to get timber tomorrow morning, leash. Don't give a fuck. I'll be gone. Like, but there's, it's also an appreciation for, do you give a fuck about tiredness? Is it real? Like, if you're actually minding yourself to a degree, like, you know what I mean? The booze and all that stuff, it just burns the bollocks out of you, you know, and all the processed sugars, all that stuff there. Like, you can go hard. Like, you can go, I reckon.
But not all that. It does actually. It just slows you down mentally. I'm on the go. I'm like yourself. I'm on the go. I wouldn't actually count the hours, but I'm on the go all the time. And yeah, it's probably all in the head a lot of the time, isn't it?
It
Like, there's a
actually,
lot of doing that. Like, there's a lot of hours to be going and working and doing well. You know.
well, I'm convinced anyway that it well, a lot of it probably comes, it does help when it's something you like, you know, that kind of way, when it's, you know,
Yeah.
you don't, yeah.
For someone, when you're doing it for someone else, you don't want to do it. If it's personal and your own thing, you'll do it. And if you love it, like, the same goes for training. If you're enjoying it, and there's great crack with all the lads. I think men need to be around other men.
Yeah.
I miss that out, but that little camaraderie and the slaggings and the stick, it's something that men need, and it's getting a bit. It's I don't know whether society's kind of going away from that, and like, it's not as prevalent anymore, is it?
It seems to be a notion, all right, yeah, it does seem to be a notion that I don't know, you can call it what you want, the male toxicity or whatever, but it's been the same for fucking 10,000 years. Not talk about blokes giving anybody else shit, just close friends, brothers in arms, or whatever you're doing, is to tear each other asunder. It's not, I don't think it's fucking healthy to be patting each other on the back nine, you know, all hours of the day going, you're doing great, keep it up. You're like, go fuck yourself. Tell me well, especially being Irish, we shouldn't be anyway like that, you know? But
the group chat that we have with the boxing, Jesus Christ, it's terrible stick. You wouldn't want to see it public, but like, I love what I do. You know, it's good.
well, but you are right. There is an element where where society, which I think it's flipping back a small bit. I think that was a fad for a couple of years. I think it is flipping back, where the notion that men shouldn't be around other men, or women, like, say the same applies. Sure, women, like, you know, the times, right, when your missus and a gang of her friends are sitting inside, or they're sitting somewhere, and you land in, and you may as well be taking a shit in all their handbags. They're looking at you going, we like you, Luke, but could you fuck off? Do you know? And you absolutely know it. You're like, yeah.
Not a chance. You're just out of the room. Yeah.
No, you steer clear. Here, before I let you, what do you make of these new kind of hybrid things? And I at first I hated them, these new kind of, you know, fucking throwing YouTubers and stuff into boxing. First, it was good. This is scandalous, you know, disrespect of an ancient sport.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm kind of now of the opinion that it's no news is, you know, all news is good news. Like,
I think it's good if you can get real fighters easy on undercards, and it brings fans and it sells tickets. Like, you're seeing your man Jake Paul, he was actually on the show in Miami that I was on. But if they can sell tickets and carry fights, and they're giving fighters opportunities on the undercards, which the likes of him is doing, I don't see any harm in it. Like, it just sells tickets, doesn't it? And yeah, man, the guy that he fought in the last fight got a career high payday. That guy Diaz got 20 million. So, like, how could you, like they're just promoters, aren't they? Like they sell tickets. Like how could you? It's just the way things are gone, and like you need to be. They're just putting out loads of content and selling tickets. They're money making machines, all that kind of stuff, and then
Well, I suppose if you look at the flip side, you said it at the top of this episode. You said what's blowing you away is the amount of support you're getting now that you hadn't got. And I'm just wondering, has boxing itself, like finally Luke is our guy, is boxing getting a good, I think it's getting a good showing, and people are saying the word, they're physically saying the word boxing on a regular basis.
maybe that's it. Maybe that's it because the likes of that, there was some influencer show in the Tree Arena done well, and there was just
Oh,
like
yeah.
they were complete. Like there was actually a couple of MMA guys that got walk over, but if you got actual fighters busy on it and gave opportunities and had say 2 or 3 YouTubers to sell tickets, it's not as bad, that kind of way. But maybe that's the buzz that's coming. It probably is coming from that because the amount of messages. I get a Ticketmaster link on Monday to send around, for 5 tickets for RDS, but there's huge demand. But it probably is a knock-on effect of that YouTube stuff.
And of course, your McElhenney has the right idea. He can see it coming down the line, making a festival
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, he's a builder, so he's a business mind, and I think it will do well. Like he was talking big acts for the music. You might get a shout there, Tom, for the comedy section.
No bother if he needs comparing, or if I've got a suit and I will travel to Lucan. That's no problem. I've always had good gigs in Lucan.
I'm good friends with Willa White. You know Willa?
I know Willie well. Yeah, yeah.
But he done his first. He done a white collar event in boxing. There, friend Steve Collins and Senan man. I must actually ring him up about it. That was his first one, but it wouldn't be a bad show from maybe the undercard he might get 1 or 2 slots. But I used to have maybe a man Stephen will sell a YouTube boxing for comedians. Usually sell tickets, but it is like see a mixture. If it sells tickets and people aren't losing money running events, the means they'll run more events and fighters get. So there's no harm in it. Like I don't see any. There's some people slaying and like it's wrong, but if it gets people paid and gets regular shows, I don't see the harm in having a couple on,
Well, the spotlight in boxing is ever, and that's unfortunately or unfortunately, that's the way everything's going. Sure, I mean the UFC, there's 100 UFCs out there, but there's only one UFC, and it's all the fireworks and the lights and everything. And even I see like Formula One. I was looking at it the other day. It was just on the news, and they had it was in Texas, and Daniel Ricciardo, who I wouldn't follow much of it, but it was a spectacle. He lands down to the fucking racetrack because it was Texas. He's an Australian guy with a big cowboy hat on a fucking horse. And you're like, yeah, make a sideshow of it because people need. I don't know these days if just the sport itself is enough in any sport. I think they need fucking hooping nannies and look at how the Americans do American football, for fuck's sake. Sure, the football itself is only secondary.
Yeah, the Super Bowl was a big thing. I don't know. Yeah, it probably needs more. I'll have to do more on social media now. Yeah, I'll go out on a horse, but
down the street in Ballyfermot.
RDS, yeah. On a 2-wheeler.
Yeah, a sulky. That's what we do. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad actually has a couple of them, so I'll get a lend of his. But,
I swear to God, we could get a camera crew following you up the street and everything as you come to the ring.
My dad does that regular during the summer around the roads in Ballyfermot. The old man. But it's funny. It's funny. We can do that, yeah. You can do that as a ring entrance or from the house, traveling to the RDS. But,
that's it.
We're all sales tickets, don't it? It's interest, that clicks, it's all social media. Everything is social media now, isn't it?
Whether you like it or not, like while you were waiting, like we were waiting to do the call here this evening, like sure, I said, well, I have time, I'll just clip up. And we're all having to film our gigs now and clip it up and be our own fucking editors and our own promoters. And, you look at the phone, it's like, oh, great. And quite literally, Luke, I just, because your phone went dead or whatever, I just looked and like 12 tickets sold to a show that I have. Just sold in the, in the 30 minutes that, because I put up that clip.
Yeah, deadly. It is a money make machine. Are you on TikTok? I haven't joined TikTok.
I have, but I'm not benefiting from TikTok. Like, TikTok is incredible if you can make it work for you, but literally all I'm putting on TikTok, I was putting up stupid, like, this will tell you how little I know about social media, that you could spend a month, right, creating an amazing thing, gets nobody views. The biggest viewed thing I ever had was, and this is a truthful thing that happened that day, I just to camera went, Polish people don't have a word for toes. They call them fingers of your feet. It's true, right? They don't.
Right.
I put it up, 500,000 views. 500,000 views.
Way got shared and whatever the algorithm. Yeah.
Whatever went on with the algorithm, they people all had their comment on it, because people from like Rwanda were going, yeah, we're the same. I'm like, what the fuck? Somebody in Rwanda is looking at my big Tipperary fucking head, like,
I have a friend, Jim Disha, he boxes Albanian guys over here. Yeah, he's check him out on TikTok, Magic Hands. So he started doing like chiropractor, like these clicks, like on the back. Probably 2 years ago now, done a couple of courses. And I used to laugh about it. You'd get someone on the neck and you hear the noise, and I said, he's gonna get arrested for that. But I went out to him and done a session in his house, and he was good now. He was very good. That was probably fucking dodgy now, but no, it was actually very good. But
is it? Because I'm obsessed by that on TikTok.
Follow him and go out and see him, because I felt great after. But he's at exploding on TikTok. Jimmy has, and he's at he's full. I think he's full time at that now.
I swear to God, if all you did was 15-second videos of each day at the gym, you
could
record.
Yeah.
Like the story. Well, it's content, but there's a continuous story to it. If all you did was 15 seconds, I went, all right, I'm sick as a pig here, going to get me bollocks knocked out.
And a bit of reality.
But people, you have no idea how people they buy into, because it's perfect for them. They're like, cool, I've no idea. Like, some of the most popular ones that I've ever done was, you take, say, 6 videos in total of all 5 seconds, and it's literally like just sitting in the car, right, come to me as I go and open the 3 Arena. You know what I mean? Or here, or any gig, and you just go up, and then you just a video of the room, quick video of you walking on stage, and then back in the car, right, I'm away for chips.
Backstage, yeah, just that personal thing.
And people just go, well, I've no idea what it's like to be a stand-up comedian. I've no idea what it's like to be a pro boxer. If you could give them, and if you just look at the tiny versions, I don't do the big long stuff or any technical shit. You can record it with no sound and then voice it over afterwards and go, right. Here we are heading to such and such, paining me bollocks from yesterday, still have bruised ribs. Let's see how we go today. Yeah, and then a video, like a clip at the very end as you're walking out of the gym going, oh, Jesus. You know what I mean? And then
I have a appointment with, like, there's a machine in town that decompresses your spine, because I suffer with my back. Has that.
I'd love that.
Yeah, so you just strap you in and fucking stretch it. I think it's worth a couple of $100,000 the machine. So to go and do that on Monday, but stuff like that, people probably want to see it.
You have, the second you said it, my lips are salivating for the idea of actually having a go.
Yeah. You get strapped in and get the spine decompressed. A video for it. That could be my first video out there, Tom.
But just literally do one walking in the door, a video of the name over the door, and you don't need to voice it over as you're walking. Walk in,
and you can voice your own videos afterwards. Then.
After, you see, that's what the winner for me is, because then you don't have to think about it and fucking smart in the moment.
Right.
And then you video it again. Video the machine.
The moment, yeah. So it'd be better. It'd be better that in.
Yeah, you throw them all together, and then when you're about ready, it says what you want to do, and do you want to do voiceover, and you voice it over.
Right, that's interesting. Yeah, I'll try that.
I know. Old fellas like us are going, who the fuck would want to be looking at that? Trust me.
Yeah, but that's the way it's gone, isn't it? Like if you want to sell tickets and build a brand, that guy Jake Paul is making millions, isn't he? They
Oh,
spent making videos, but they're churning out money because they did that content, innit? Whatever it is for
well,
the
it's even on. He's on the giant scale. You know what I mean? He's on
yeah,
the this. But there's lads. There's lads around Ireland who are. What you're doing is you're peddling your business typically. So you're getting fitness instructors who are normally people who do short, funny, like fucking look at the cut of this top I'm after buying. You know what I mean? And that's it. On to the next day. And that's enough for people. They go, all right, he's irrelevant now. And then
yeah
like you can walk
followers.
out.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So I can tell you no more. That's about as technical as I know. But I'm trying to give it to you from my point of view, where you don't have to be fucking smart in the moment. You can voice it over afterwards. But because you've got an interesting story too, the fact that you're the comeback, you're making the
Yeah,
comeback. You know.
could actually do videos of that actual process. It's probably not a bad idea, to be honest, and have it in one place because it's something I don't do a lot of.
No, you don't
Start.
do it all, Luke. You
No.
fucking, it's not even a lot of, you don't do it all. Let's,
Yeah. This is a lot there the last 3 years having this conversation, but yeah, no, nothing. Yeah, but it is good because it's important to sell tickets for the show and continue on and have that dream, like I said, the belt and that comes with ticket sales and bums on seats, you know?
that's it. And you literally, unfortunately, it has to be part of your plan. You're over the next 2 to 3 years, it has to be part of your plan is to make yourself more popular, more like you have to think of the bottom
No,
line. The boys in
yeah,
Lucan want to sell tickets because your head showing up, but
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, I have to just plunge into it.
yeah, you have to just go back and imagine the same way you went into the gym and got your bollocks handed to you the first day. It's the same thing with the phone now.
It
Charge
gets
the
better,
phone.
yeah, and you get sharper.
Yeah, exactly. Before you
Yeah,
know it, you'll be a fucking TikToker. Like lads, I'm parking the box and I'm going full time at TikTok.
yeah. No.
No, your fists are too big for the phone. That's all it is. Yeah. Right. So when is the hope? Autumn, sometime late autumn.
The show is the RDS is the 16th of September.
And do we have a fighter for you yet?
Not yet, no, but be a good, like I said, journeyman is not someone I'm gonna knock out, unfortunately. So someone I'll get the rounds off, someone decent enough, 6 rounds, and then probably October again in 8
Class.
rounds, and then I can look at like I mentioned your man Jason Quigley
Oh yeah.
for like he's coming off a loss where he done well in America. He's the same way we box in the amateurs. I asked for that fight. It could be a fight that can be made. So you never know. Like the fact that I'm back in the gym now, there's chances of stuff like that. You know.
Yeah. Well, you have to be in among it, just like TikTok. Unfortunately, you have to be in among it to actually for stuff to happen. So 16th of September.
Ember is the first one. Huge interest, thank God. And I'll say it'd be a big success. It'd be probably 5,000 people there. You'll have to come along, Tom.
Oh, I'm going to be there because I'm hosting a thing early in the day on the 16th in Dublin anyway, so it's going to work out perfect.
Long and then that thing on Sunday. If you ever needed a session on Sunday, body sparred, drop out.
Yeah, I might just TikTok the whole thing. I'll just sit on the edge of the 40 foot.
You know what? There's content for you because it's fun. And that owns the gym, Rogerson and old lads like Jesus. You get great content. They're just like throwback. Fucking their outfits in that 60 and that big man sparring. Like I'm sparring with him and he had his 60th there and can still fight like big hard man, small gym, uh, real throwback gym. But there's content for TikTok there now.
Nobody, you see, this is the thing. People don't believe this shit, so you have to get it on. You have to get it on video. Like,
Yeah, yes, you should come along. That'd be a good one. That'd be a
yeah,
good one.
actually, that is actually sounding more and more tempting. In all fairness, at the beginning, I was like, "Fuck that," but that does sound like a right bit of crack, actually.
It is good. You get gold and stuff out there. Gold.
Right, I'm not going to keep you any later because you can go hit the hay. You've got fighting to
Yeah,
go on doing. 16th of September.
yeah. Thanks for your time, right, gentlemen. See you then,
Cheers, Nick.
right?
Mind yourself.